We are talking about transportation. Transportation is the transportation. If we are talking about transportation, that means we are like in normal language, we are talking about a vehicle like truck or buses. These truck and buses are used for the transportation of various items or luggage from one place to another. Same as it is if we are talking about an animal, that is plant and animal. There is also the transportation is taking place. Like if we are talking about what is the transportation or for what we are using transportation, mainly the transportation of water and minerals in plants, whereas it is blood in animals, or the gaseous molecules are also transported from one part of the body to the another. Next, food is also transported from one part of the body to another. These things are transported by a particular system. So, we are talking the system in plant. So, in plant, the system is called vascular system, and the system which is doing so in animal is called circulatory system. So first we will talk about the vascular system in plants. So the transportation in plants has been taken place by vascular system, and these vascular system are broadly divided into two parts, that is xylem and phloem. The xylem is responsible for the transportation of water and minerals, and phloem is responsible for the transportation of food from one part to another. Next, first of all, we will like to talk about xylem tissue. So the xylem tissue is broadly divided into four parts, that is xylem parenchyma, xylem sclerenchyma, also known as xylem fibers, xylem tracheids, and of course xylem vessels, where in that xylem parenchyma is living, and rather all are dead tissue. So we can say that most of the dead tissue present in xylem are mostly the dead tissue present in xylem. Next, parenchyma in xylem is utilized for the storage purpose. Next, sclerenchyma is utilized for hardness and toughness or protection to the plant. Oh. Next is your tracheids and vessels, where both are responsible for the transportation of water and minerals from roots to different parts of the body, that is from roots to different parts of the plant body. Or we can say that tracheids are mostly present in gymnosperm, and vessels are present in angiosperms. To memorize how, we have to remember that vessels are only present in angiosperm, like we are taking V, and if we are forming it, it is forming opposite A. So that means we can remember it that vessels are present in angiosperm and remaining the tracheids are present in your gymnosperm. Next we are talking about the phloem, where phloem is broadly further divided into four parts, that is, again the phloem parenchyma, phloem sclerenchyma, companion cell, and sieve tubes, where only sclerenchyma is the dead tissue, whereas it is talking about these three of them are living. So most of the living tissues found in phloem. Next we are talking about some important things, that tracheids and vessels together known as headroom cell, as they are originating from the same mother cell. But if we are talking about phloem, that is companion cell plus sieve tubes together called as sister cells, where they are originating from the similar mother cell. Sorry, there is a correction, that is, the tracheids and vessels are originating from two different cells. Vessel is originating from another vessel, mother cell, and tracheid is originating from another mother cell. Next, talking about the transportation in plants. Here different types of theories are proposed to know the transportation in plants, but the most acceptable theory is the transpirational cohesive theory. Transpirational cohesive theory. According to this transpirational cohesive theory, if we talk about, like we are talking about the plants where the water is absorbed by the roots and it is transported to various parts of the plants like leaves, branches, stems, etc. So, if we talk about the diagram of a plant, these are the root hairs of the plant. That is, they are the root hair, and this is the xylem column. There are two types of mesophyll cells. When they are present, a little bit different from far away from each other, and no intercellular space is present in between them, then they are called as mesophyll cell, whereas it is the cell which is present little bit lower, or the compact cells, they are known as palisade tissue or palisade. It is also a kind of mesophyll cell only. Then there are, we are talking about the leaf structure, and in leaf here what they are present is the stomatas. So what will happen? The demand of the water is from the stomata. As we know that transpiration is occurring simultaneously with the process of respiration. Respiration. So what will happen at the high sunny day through the stomatas in a particular leaf, the carbon oxygen is going outside and carbon dioxide is entering inside the stomata due to the higher concentration to lower concentration. Similarly, the water in the form of water fumes or water vapors, they are also evaporating from the plant cells. During water evaporation, they are getting starved for water and put a demand to the palisade cells. Palisade cell fill the demand of water, but again it starved for the water and it demands to the mesophyll cell for the water. Similarly, from mesophyll cell the demand of water goes to xylem cells and so on at last to the roots, where the roots where the water potential is negative, so the water and minerals from the soil from higher concentration to lower concentration move towards the roots. So, as we know that if we are talking about a tap water, so the tap water is pouring water to the ground level. But if the water has to be transferred to a highest building or the floor, top of the floor, so it must require a motor or a machine to transfer. What the motor is doing here is that there is a connection of pipe where the motor is performing, it is creating vacuum in the pipe, or due to that water moves upward, water moves upward due to action, due to capillary action to displace or to replace the air. This is how water is transported to the higher level or to the top of the building. Similarly, in plants, the force between two similar cells called cohesive force, whereas it is the force between two different cells is called adhesive force. So here, due to cohesive force between the mesophyll cells and the adhesive force means the cohesive force between the similar cells like mesophyll cells and adhesive force between the xylem wall and water togetherly create a vacuum by which a capillary action is generated, and due to that capillary action and on the basis of concentration, the water moves from roots to top of the plant. So if we talk about like the water is transported, that means transpiration is performing. Due to transpiration, a pulling force is applied. A pulling force is applied to the roots, due to which the roots provide water to the leaf from where the transpiration is occurring. That's why it is called transpirational pull cohesive theory, because the force applied to pull the water from the roots is due to the cohesive force. Next, talking about the phloem, the transportation of food particles from leaves to various parts of the plant body is called translocation. Instead of calling it as transportation, always we will said that it is a translocation. So the translocation can be occur by two processes, that is symplast or apoplast. So in symplast, the two cells are having the plasmodesmata through which the movement of ions or the water and minerals food can be occur. Or if we are talking about the apoplast, the space present between the cells through which the particular food will be transported. Next, we are talking about food particles, that is, in the form of the food is stored in the form of starch. The food is stored in the form of starch, whereas the food, when it is translocated in the form of sucrose. This is the transportation in plant ends up. Thank you.